In this episode of Crystal Uncorked, I am sitting down in person with Dominic Burtech of Burtech Family Vineyards. And I just recently met Dominic and was introduced to his wines and his company in May of this year, 2021. And I just have to say, I have so enjoyed getting to know Dominic and his family and just being a part of their business. I'm a member of their vineyard. I love their wines, the Maile Rosé that we're drinking in this episode, and their Syrah is my top two favorites, but I've loved every wine that I've tried there. And this is so special because Dominic did not grow up in the wine industry. He actually didn't even drink wine that much. He, after going to Sonoma and having an amazing weekend with family and friends, he came back and decided, hey, let's grow some vines. Let's get into the industry. And so he initially thought, let's do 400 plants of Cab. He loved Cab. That was his favorite, but his wife liked Chardonnay. So she's like, no, you've got to plant Chardonnay. And so they did compromise like you do in a healthy marriage and decided to plant both Cab and Chardonnay. However, they didn't just do 400 vines. They did 2,000. And they're growing them here in Southern California in Encinitas, which is very close to the ocean. And I am so excited to try their Encinitas wines. I haven't got to try them yet because they planted these a couple years ago and it takes time. It takes patience. They just harvested the Chardonnay. So they will be out soon to try, which is very exciting. But in this episode, I asked Dominic, what kind of advice he has for anybody who is wanting to get into this industry. I find it very inspiring that he just started without having any kind of knowledge. He just really put the work into researching and learning. And I've done several tours at their property, and you'll often hear Dominic talk about Google. He Googled this and he Googled that. And it's so exciting because we have all this information at our fingertips to learn almost anything that we want to. You just have to be willing to put in the work and have the passion. And he has, him and his family and his team have really put in the work to build this, the Burtech Family Vineyards. And, he mentions patience, asking the right questions, having the right team. I can't agree more. Dominic actually has a construction company that he's had for 30 years. So he was able to bring all of that knowledge and experience into this business, which of course can help speed things up. But still, he's learned a lot along the way of actually having a vineyard and making wine. So you'll love this episode. Ideally, you're watching it because we are on their property and it's just so gorgeous. You'll hear a little bit of wind. So if you are listening from audio perspective, you'll hear a little wind, but you'll still hear our conversation. So let's dive. Oh, actually, I just want to say Burtech Family Vineyard.com. You could buy their wines online. You don't have to be a member, but if you are local, don't walk, run. Go to their tasting room that's opening soon, make a reservation, check out their property, taste their wines. I know you're going to love them. And they're just a really special family. Like, I just feel like family, and I can't believe how much Dominic remembers. Every time I'm there, he remembers all of our conversations. He's just a very special human. So enjoy this episode. Let's dive in. Hello, I'm Crystal Vilkaitis. I'm a curious, wine-loving entrepreneur who loves to learn and have open and honest conversations. Join me and my amazing guests as we talk about all sorts of relatable business and life stuff. It's my goal that you'll have fun, learn something new, and get inspired. Wine is not required, but is recommended. This is Crystal Uncorked. Dominic, welcome to Crystal Uncorked. I'm so thrilled you're here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yay. Okay, what are we drinking? We're going to start there.
Well, we're starting off with a little Maile Rosé. It's after my daughter, Maile. She designed this whole bottle. So it's kind of unique. It has the Hawaiian letters and the Burtech crest. So she designed the Maile Rosé and the bottle and everything, so it's really tasty.
It's so tasty. And this is maybe, I've been here a few times because I think I have a problem. I'm like obsessed with your winery. I'm not a big rosé person, but I love this rosé. So cheers.
Cheers.
We will try it here.
Well, you don't have a problem. You're just a good member.
I'm just a good member, right? Yes, yeah.
And
Keep coming back.
And it's a beautiful place here, and it's relaxing, and we got horses and a lot of things here for people who want to come back.
I know exactly. I mean, we have horses here. There's vines all over the property.
All over. We got 3,000 vines now.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a Cabernet,
okay,
which is a French clone, and we have a Syrah, which is a French clone, and we have a Robert Young Chardonnay, Wintake.
Okay.
And then we just planted a Pinot, which is a French clone.
Oh, you did do Pinot?
Yeah, we just planted it last week, so we're really excited about
that. That's awesome. So then how much wine does 3,000 vines produce?
The first harvest will be probably about 10 to 15 barrels.
Okay.
And that'll be about 40% of what it should max out at. So
okay.
It'll keep growing from there year after year when the vines get established, the roots go a little deeper.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're having our first harvest this year since our first set of vines have been in the ground 2 years.
Okay.
So yeah. So we harvested our Chardonnay 2 weeks ago. So we got about 85 gallons. So we'll get probably about 300 to 400 bottles of our first estate Chardonnay.
Oh, I can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
then we're gonna pick our Syrah here in a week or two.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about the Syrah is our winemaker is thinking of making a rosé out of our Syrah grapes.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So the Syrah is a dark fruit, but if you don't, when you make it, if you don't let the skin hit the juice for too long, it'll stay light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I love your Syrah. I think that's my favorite. Yeah. I love everything, but I think the Syrah is my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had the chance to kind of chat through my times here, and you are new to the wine industry. Like you're not a sommelier. You didn't grow up in this industry. You have just this passion for wine. And you and your wife decided to start this winery. Will you take us through that beginning of what was the inspiration to start Burtech Winery?
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't into wine very much, hardly drank wine. And it was my wife's birthday. We went up to Sonoma with a lot of family and friends and just had an amazing time. And came back and wanted to plant just 400 plants, and it was going to be a Cabernet because I love Cabernet. And my wife says, you got to do Chardonnay. And I go, well, that means I have to plant 200 Chardonnay, 200. That's not enough. So I started expanding from there, and we actually went from thinking we were going to plant 400 to when we were done, we planted 2,000 vines.
Oh my gosh.
And we drove the nursery crazy because every week we go, oh no, it's 500, no, it's 1,000, no, it's 15, no, it's 2, no, it's this. So we must have called her 50 times and change. And she was very patient, and it was Duarte Nursery. So Tia there, she was very helpful in picking the right varietals, picking the right rootstock. And so, we definitely asked a lot of questions, and so we feel blessed that we got good vines because, starting off, you don't know, but if you ask the right questions, you meet the right people, it worked out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then how did you start learning everything to run a winery and grow your vines?
Yeah, I think what helped is being 30 years with our construction company. So the sense of it was kind of natural. But during the process with my good friend James, and you met James a couple of times, James and I went to high school together. So we've been friends since 16, 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so if Jimmy was here, he would say it was only 20 years, but then I almost 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he and I would go wine tasting, every Saturday and Sunday to Fallbrook, Temecula. And what we do is just video, take pictures of the vineyards, and I would research a lot on the internet. So I Googled everything.
Uh-huh.
So it was a team effort, so our we have a building division as well, so our building employees were a little bit slow, which worked out perfect. So a group of about 8 of our guys came out here, and I'd send them pictures every night how we're gonna build the trellis. So we'd build the trellis, and then we've got the vine. So just asking a lot of questions, going to different wineries, and it got us to planning.
Yeah.
So then once we planted everything, it was like, that's 2 years away.
Right.
And being in this beautiful setting with a lot of horses and a lot of people that ride horses, they'd always see us working in the vineyard and want to know, when is the wine coming?
Yeah.
So I had a big problem then.
Yeah.
So, I got on winebiz.com, which is a website, and I ended up buying some Syrah grapes, Merlot, and Cab.
Okay.
And so we brought it back to San Diego and made it, and it's still aging. So that was in 2019, the harvest of 2019. So we're getting ready to bottle that.
Nice.
But once we, made our wine and it got in a barrel, it's like, oh, what's next?
Right.
We got to wait another year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
So we ended up, looking for bulk wine, and so met a couple really nice, influential winemakers in Napa.
Nice.
That learned a lot from them. So we ended up buying a 2017 Cab, an 18 Cab, and then a 2018 Syrah, Chardonnay, and a Sauv Blanc. So those were our first varietals that we ended up bottling, and we bottled those in December of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
December 2020.
Yeah.
And then that's an interesting year to be in business. You started in 2019?
Yes.
And then when did that winery and tasting room here open?
It opened after we got our ABC license.
Okay.
So, what we do is offer for our members to have free vineyard tours, and they come out and they enjoy the environment, the vines, and tasting some of the wines. So, yeah, that started 2020, probably about March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting time.
Yes. Yeah.
So what would you say, one thing I love about you and your wife Julie is you don't have this experience, but it's just, I want to do this and I have this passion, so I'm going to go on this website, google.com, figure it out, ask questions, and you didn't let it hold you guys back. You just created this amazing place for people to enjoy wine, learn about wine, taste wine, and awesome wine. So cheers, by the way,
cheers
to doing that. Thank you for doing that. What has been a challenge in, we've got a nice airplane flying over us, our sound might get that a little bit. What has been one of the challenges in starting a winery?
I'm kind of an interesting person because I don't look at challenges as challenges. It's just things you gotta deal with in life. So, I just keep going, and if there's a roadblock, I kind of call it, I guess you can call it a challenge as well.
Sure.
I just go, okay, how do we work around this? What can we do? And, so as long as you keep marching forward, you can always figure out a way to get something done.
Right.
So, we, right after we bottled our wine, we ended up getting our website open. So that came out really good, and it was a team effort, between my daughter, my wife, James, Nicole. So we had a good team around us, and Julie.
Yeah.
So I think what makes our family unique and why the wine is really good, the website, and kind of everything we do is just we're very passionate about things and take a lot of pride in what we do. So, if the lettering's off a little bit, you got to fix it.
Yeah.
So, we spent a lot of time with all that. And, like my daughter's rosé, it was the rosé has to go up 1/8 of an inch. The lettering's got to do this, the lettering's got to do that. But, it's proud to see it because, she's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
So, I think having the whole family being passionate about something and being together, and, it made it special.
Totally.
So, it's just, we kind of all march together, laugh, have fun, and it makes it fun.
Yeah, no kidding. So problem solving is a big part of this, and having a great team surround you. And it's so great that your family is part of that team, makes it extra special. And I could tell that you guys have a lot of attention to detail, even just in the wines that you guys have. Like they're really good wines. You know, when you go to a winery and it's like, I didn't really like any of those, or maybe there's one that you like. Like I've never had one that I don't like. So I'm obviously not the biggest wine connoisseur there is, but still, people love your wine, and it's great wine.
Thank you.
Yeah. What has been one of your most rewarding experiences or situations through this whole launching the winery?
You know, I think it was our first bottling. You know, it didn't hit till all of a sudden you see 8,500 bottles with your name on it.
Yeah.
And you got your daughter and your son and your wife and your best friend there. And you're seeing this and you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Is this really happening?
Yeah.
And so really I think that moment it kind of changed things for us. Like, this is real.
This is real. Yeah.
Real.
How exciting.
Yeah.
It's got to be so cool just holding this bottle. Like, this is our bottle. This is our name. We're moving forward. We did it. Big milestone.
And it happened just like that.
And it happened. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Do you have advice for anybody who wants to do something similar or who wants to get into the wine industry but doesn't have the experience but has the passion?
You know, whatever you do, you just got to be thorough. You got to be excited about it. You can't be wishy-washy about it. So if you finally make the decision you want to do something, you have to go get it.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to be patient. You know, it can't be about the money. You know, it's got, to me, the interesting thing about wine and a winery and everything, it's more people. You know, more people, food, conversations, and things like that. So it really kind of has changed me a little bit, because being in construction my whole life, you know, it's kind of a tough business. And you know, God has a way of making things happen. So, you know, I feel that with the winery, meeting people like yourself and having good conversation and sharing the good wine, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So, you know, somebody starting out new, you just got to have passion and take baby steps. You know, to me is what I always do in my life, and is take baby steps. Like me, I planted a vineyard. You know, and the way I looked at it was, well, if my vineyard fails, I'm not going to put my family in jeopardy.
Right.
So I can handle that.
Right.
You know, when we bought our first barrel of wine, you know, it's not going to hurt my family.
Right.
So I just kept doing baby steps and making good decisions. You know, so, you know, starting off new, you got to be passionate, make good decisions, ask a lot of questions, you know, and listen to your heart, and just make good decisions, you know, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, you got to, you just got to let it grow naturally. And, you know, if you want too much too quick, it'll get out of control. And then that's when the winery runs you, or, you know, whatever you do in life. And if it's running a winery, you want to run the winery.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Kind of trust the process, right?
Yes.
I mean, patience in running a business is so required. And having that trust of knowing, like, I see the vision, I have the passion, I'm willing to commit, be patient, and it works out. Like, but really you have to have that trust, which can be hard.
Yeah.
I think so for many of us. I experience that sometimes in my own business, you know, like you expect things to happen right away or a certain way, but that's not always how it is. So you got to just go with the flow and figure it out. Are you like a podcast or listener or book reader?
You know, I do read books, but not as much, because they put me to sleep. So what I try to do is go on the internet, because I can flip around and read a lot of articles quick and try to get to the point. So you know, so I like the internet. Yeah. And I've learned a lot on the internet.
Yes, you have. I mean, when we did our first tour here, we were asking you questions. We're like, how'd you figure that out? And you're like, I Googled. I mean, really, like, we have so much information at our fingertips. You can create almost anything you want. Just be willing to put in the work, do the research. which obviously you have done. But I just love that was like your answer for a lot of things. I Googled, you know, like nothing profound, just I Googled. But in a way it is.
Which is a good resource.
It's a great resource.
And quick.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have to go to the library.
No.
You don't have to look for that special book.
Right. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
I ask, is there any kind of book or like resource that you are reading on the internet that you would recommend, whether it's for business or even personally or in the wine industry?
No, I Google everything, and you know, if you want to learn like when's the right time to pick Syrah, I Google when's the right time to pick Syrah.
Yep.
You know, and then I'll look at the videos, and you learn a little bit from there as well.
Right.
So yeah, you just do that, and then really through the journey, you know, I've tried to meet good people and ask a lot of good questions. So, you know, I have met a lot of good friends in a short period of time in the wine industry that has helped me tremendously. Just you know, asking different questions about the grapes, the vineyard, and I think another thing that helps me is, you know, I walk the vineyard every day. You know, I love to walk the vineyard, and I always find one thing that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
So you know, what we're trying to do here at Burtech Family Vineyard is really take care of the vineyard, so we grow the best grapes we can. And what they say, you have good grapes, you're going to make good wine. So far, you know, harvesting our Chardonnay, that was very interesting, and so far the wine is doing everything we want and more. So exciting for our first harvest.
Right. Oh my gosh, exciting. Seriously, again, I can't wait to try it. What is your favorite wine?
You know, it changes from day to day.
Okay.
And even at the end of the day, what I like doing is sometimes blending some of our different wines. So I'll grab like,
that's fun.
Yeah, if we have a little Syrah and a Cab or the Bordeaux blend, I like mixing them. So I always get a different flavor.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. So it's fun. And I think we might have tried that once.
Oh, actually we did. What did we mix though?
Put a little bourbon in there.
Oh, we put bourbon?
In our Syrah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was for your birthday.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, who would have thought putting alcohol, like hard liquor, into wine? I've never heard of it before, but it was so good.
Yeah, and actually it was one of your friends that came in, and he goes, "Hey, can I have a little bourbon in that Syrah?" And I go, "You're kidding me, right?" He goes, "No."
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we did it, and I tasted a little bit. I go, "Oh my God, this is good."
It's really good.
So it was a big hit that day on your birthday.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, it kind of tasted like really good port.
It totally did.
Yeah.
And I love ports.
Yeah, and not too sugary, but just enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that was really an interesting combination.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you had a couple that day.
Yep. I'll have to get some Dan's recipes and do some mixing on the blog of suggestions. But that's a great idea. So what's the future? What do you see for?
You know, as long as the family's happy and we're all continue that passion, you know, we're gonna be somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I feel it. I wouldn't have said it 6 months ago. Didn't even think we'd have, you know, because we bottled our first bottling December of 20. So since then, we've already had like 4 other bottlings.
Right.
So, you know, everything is going good. The family's happy. The wine is good. And really, I think that's probably the most important thing for us, is to be able to like even sit across the table and enjoy the wine.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what makes it fun for our family, where, you know, when we serve our customers, you know, they come out and they say, "Oh, well, we were hoping you'd have one good bottle."
Right.
And when they see all of them are good, they leave, you know, very surprised, and that's rewarding.
Oh, for sure.
So that's what we're going to continue to do, and you know, we're opening up a wine tasting room in Vista.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that will hopefully, we already got our city license and our ABC license, O2 license. So we're going to open that up here in about 3 to 4 months. It'll be open, so that'll be fun. And then we want to open up another wine tasting room on one of our properties by the beach in Encinitas, so right off of Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, that is so great. How exciting. I'm so bummed I'm moving. I won't be able to, when I come back and visit, I will visit. But I can't wait to see those. That's so exciting.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of friends here. So
I sure do. Yes, they will.
I have a feeling you'll be back a lot.
For sure. And then I'll get to live through them on their posts as they're there tasting too. But
we'll ship you wine to Colorado.
Please,
you are a member.
I know. I already asked Olivia. Do you guys ship? Because I need my Burtech wine in Colorado.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
I'm just very proud, to be in a situation that I am and being able to do the things that I'm doing. I kind of feel like a kid sometimes, in the candy store.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, and, for anybody who wants to endeavor in something, be passionate about it, do your homework and be confident. Don't doubt yourself, and if you doubt yourself, try to erase the doubt, and you erase the doubt by learning the most you can about whatever you're going to do.
Right. Be more prepared, which will erase that doubt. Yeah.
It'll erase that doubt, and believe in yourself.
Totally.
It's one day at a time. You wake up every morning at 6 and give it 110%, and at the end of the day, you go home tired.
Right.
And you wake up the next morning, you keep going, and sooner or later, everything will be clearer, your road, your journey, and it makes it fun.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Okay, one last cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
All right, everybody, if you are in the Encinitas area, you've got to come to Burtech. Well, Vista, Encinitas, we've got tasting rooms happening. If you become a member, you can come to this beautiful property, have a glass, bring some friends, do a tasting. I can't say enough. I not only do I love the wine, I just love the feeling that I have when I'm here. It feels special. It feels like family. You guys are out talking to us. Like, it's a really amazing experience. And Dustin wanted me to do a call out to the charcuterie boards that you guys do, because those are awesome. It's just a really lovely experience. So if you're in the area, you have to be here. Go online. Do you ship? You do ship, so they could check out online too. We'll link to everything. And Dominic, thank you so much for providing this for us and great wine, and for your time today.
Well, thank you as well.
Awesome. All right, everybody, I will see you on the next See You. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Are you on Instagram? I'd love to see pictures of you listening to the show, a screenshot of your favorite episode, and/or your favorite wines. Share them with me. Just follow and tag @Crystal Uncorked. I can't wait to see you there. All right, I'll see you on the next See You.